Hey everyone, and welcome back to the garden. Have you ever felt that frustration? You spend all spring planting, you get this incredible explosion of color in June, and it's amazing for like 3 weeks. And then it's just sea of green. The show is over, and you're left waiting for the fall asters to maybe do something. It's a common problem, but it doesn't have to be your reality. The secret to garden that looks fantastic from late spring all the way through the first frost isn't about planting more, it's about planting smarter. It's choosing the marathon runners of the plant world. Today, we're diving into the heavy hitters, the absolute workhorses of the perennial border. These are the 12 longest blooming perennials that will give you nonstop color season after season. These aren't just flashes in the pan, but they are reliable, beautiful, and they just refuse to quit. So grab your notepad because you're going to want to plant these now. Let's get started. First on our list is an absolute icon of the summer garden, the Coneflower or Echinacea. This isn't just a pretty face, it's one of the toughest, most reliable bloomers you can possibly plant. When other flowers are starting to wilt and look tired in the brutal heat of late July and August, the Coneflower is just hitting its stride. It starts blooming in early summer, and with just a little bit of deadheading, it will keep pushing out new flowers right until the first hard frost. Seriously, I've had these blooming in October. The classic purple is gorgeous, but now you can find them in all sorts of colors: white, yellow, orange, even fiery red. Beyond their beauty, they are a complete magnet for pollinators. You'll see goldfinches clinging to the seed heads in the fall, and the bees and butterflies are on them all day long. They're drought tolerant once established, and honestly seem to thrive on a bit of neglect. Just give them full sun and well-drained soil, and they will reward you for years. They are the definition of low maintenance, high impact plant. Next up, we have what I like to call the smiling face of the summer garden, the black-eyed Susan or Rudbeckia. It's impossible to look at a patch of these and not feel a little bit happier. That classic golden yellow petal with the dark brown, almost black, center is just pure sunshine. And when we talk about long blooming, Rudbeckia is a champion. Varieties like Goldsturm will start putting on a show in midsummer and will carry that brilliant color all the way autumn. They are incredibly prolific bloomers, creating a dense mat of color that can completely transform a boring patch of your garden. They are native to North America, which means they are tough, adaptable, and fantastic for local ecosystems. They aren't picky about soil and can handle heat and drought like a champ once they're settled in. For a truly effortless wave of color that lasts for months, you just can't beat them. Plus, they make excellent flowers, so you can bring that sunshine right inside your house. They sell seed politely, so you'll get a few new plants next year without them taking over everything. It's must have for that late summer color boost. Okay, if there is one plant that every single garden should have, it might just be this one, catmint or nepeta. Don't confuse this with its aggressive cousin catnip. Garden catmint, especially varieties like Walker's Low, is a beautifully behaved mounding perennial with clouds of lavender blue flowers, and the bloom time is just absurd. It starts in late spring and will bloom its heart out all the way into fall. If it starts to look a little tired midsummer, can give it a quick haircut, shear it back by about third, and it will flesh out with whole new wave of fresh growth and flowers within a couple of weeks. It's the plant that just keeps on giving. Bees absolutely lose their minds over it, and my catmint is always buzzing with pollinators. It's also incredibly tough. It's deer resistant, rabbit resistant, and once it's established, it's extremely drought tolerant. It has silvery green foliage that smells wonderful after it rains. It's perfect for softening the edge of border or walkway. It's just one of those foolproof plants that make you look like gardening genius. Now let's talk about salvia, specifically the perennial varieties like Maynight or Caradonna. These are the masters of the vertical accent in the garden. Those deep violet blue flower spikes stand straight up and provide a color that's hard to find elsewhere. They start blooming in late spring or early summer, and they put on a massive, spectacular show. The best part, after that first big flush of flowers, if you cut them back, they will rebloom again and again throughout the summer and into the fall. It's a simple trick that doubles or even triples your season of color from a single plant. Hummingbirds and butterflies absolutely adore them. You'll see them darting in and out of the spikes all day. They love full sun and well-drained soil. They really don't like to have wet feet, so avoid planting them in boggy areas. The foliage, nice, almost savory scent to it. They pair beautifully with yellows and oranges from plants like black-eyed Susans or yarrow, creating really dynamic and vibrant color combination that just screams summer. They're a true garden workhorse. Up next is a plant you'll often see in old cottage gardens and meadows, and for good reason. yarrow, or achillea. This plant is the definition of resilient. It produces these beautiful flat-top flower clusters that look like tiny umbrellas, and they come in a whole rainbow of colors, from the classic yellow and white to pinks, reds, and terracotta oranges. Yarrow starts blooming in early summer and will continue pumping out flowers for months, especially if dead at the spent blooms. The fern-like feathery foliage is beautiful in its own right and has distinct spicy fragrance when you crush it. This is another plant that thrives on neglect. It loves hot, sunny spots and poor, dry soil. In fact, if you give it soil that's too rich, it can get floppy. It's incredibly drought tolerant in favor of beneficial insects like ladybugs and hoverflies, which help control pests in your garden. Yarrow is also legend. Cut flower holding its color and shape for long time in vase, and it dries beautifully for winter arrangements. It's tough, beautiful, and endlessly useful plant. If you're looking for something that's a little more delicate and airy, you have to try Coreopsis, especially the threadleaf variety Moonbeam. This plant is a cloud of soft, buttery yellow, daisy-like flowers. It is one of the most cheerful and dependable perennials you can own. From early summer right through to fall, it is just covered in blooms. It's not a huge dramatic flower, but the sheer number of them creates a stunning shimmering effect in the garden. It has very fine, almost needle-like foliage that gives it a light, airy texture that contrasts beautifully with plants that have bolder leaves. Moonbeam is famously low maintenance. It needs full sun and good drainage, but it's not fussy about soil and is quite drought tolerant. It's perfect a filler plant that weaves between other perennials, tying the whole garden bed together. It doesn't demand attention, but you'll always notice its constant, gentle presence. It's one of those plants that just makes the whole garden feel alive and complete for months on end. Let's talk about a plant that brings incredible texture and late season drama. Russian sage or Perovskia. This isn't a plant for a tiny garden, but if you have the space, it is a showstopper. It creates this amazing hazy cloud of lavender blue flowers on silvery white stems. It has an almost ethereal quality, especially when it's backlit by the evening sun. It practically glows. The bloom season is incredibly long, starting in midsummer and going right up until the first frost, often looking its best when everything else is starting to fade. The foliage has strong sage-like aroma when you brush against it, which is bonus, and it's big reason why deer and rabbits tend to leave it alone. Russian sage is tough as nails. It adores full blazing sun and thrives in dry, poor soil. It absolutely hates wet conditions, so drainage is key. It provides wonderful, airy structure that looks fantastic planted with or sturdy perennials like sedum and Coneflower. It adds height, texture, and that cool toned color that works so well in the hot months. True star for the late summer garden. Now for a plant that adds movement and grace to the garden. Gora, often called whirling butterflies. And that name is perfect. It has these long, slender, wiry stems with delicate pink or white flowers that dance and bob in the slightest breeze. It truly looks like a cloud of butterflies hovering in your garden. Gora has one of the longest bloom times of any perennial I know. It starts in late spring and does not stop until a hard frost takes it down. Just keeps sending up these ones of flowers week after week, month after month. It's a North American native, so it's adapted to handle heat and drought with ease once established. It develops a long taproot, which helps it find water deep in the soil, but also means it doesn't like to be moved once it's settled. It needs full sun and excellent drainage. It's a fantastic plant for adding a soft and formal and kinetic element to a garden bed. Adapts beautifully without being a bully, and that constant, gentle motion is just mesmerizing to watch. A truly magical plant. No list of long-blooming, hardworking plants would be complete without talking about sedum, especially the classic autumn joy. This plant is a master of transformation and offers 4 seasons of interest. In spring, you get these lovely succulent blue-green mounds of foliage. In summer, these are topped with tightly packed broccoli-like heads of green buds. Then, in late summer, those buds open up into huge flat clusters of dusty pink flowers. And it's not yet. As autumn progresses, the flowers deepen in color to rich coppery red or bronze. The flowers are an absolute lifeline for pollinators late in the season. They will be covered, and I mean covered, in bees and butterflies. Even in winter, the dried seed heads look incredible, especially when dusted with frost or snow. It's ridiculously easy to grow. It wants full sun and well-drained soil and is incredibly drought tolerant. It's the perfect plant for providing that crucial bridge of color from summer into the depths of fall. It's reliable, tough, and beautiful at every stage. Okay, this next one is a powerhouse. If you want the absolute longest bloom time from a single perennial, it is very hard to beat Geranium Rozanne. This plant is a phenomenon. It was named the Perennial Plant of the Year for a reason. Rosin starts producing its beautiful violet blue flowers with a white center in late spring or early summer, and it continues to bloom, and I mean continuously without any deadheading, all the way until the first frost. It's not just few flowers here and there, it is constant, prolific display. It's sprawling or mounding geranium, not the upright kind you see in window boxes. It weaves its way through and around other plants, filling in gaps with its lovely foliage and those pops of brilliant blue. It's incredibly versatile. It can handle full sun to part shade, and it's not too fussy about soil as long as it isn't waterlogged. It's the ultimate low maintenance, high reward plant. If you only have room for one more plant, make it this one. You will not be disappointed. It truly never stops. For a classic, clean, and timeless look, you can't go wrong with the Shasta daisy. This isn't your grandmother's daisy, though. Modern cultivars like Becky have revolutionized this plant. They are sturdy, reliable, and bloom for an incredibly long time. Shasta daisy will start producing its iconic white-petaled, yellow-centered flowers in early summer. If you make sure to deadhead them by snipping off the spent flowers, you will encourage the plant to produce new continuously, often right into early autumn. This simple chore extends the flower show by months. They provide wonderful, bright, and cheerful presence in the garden that cools down hotter colors like reds and oranges. They are fantastic cut flowers, lasting long time in vase. They need full sun to perform their best and prefer well-drained soil. They are generally untroubled by pests or diseases and are pretty low maintenance besides the deadheading. For that crisp cottage garden feel that lasts all summer, the Shasta daisy is an absolute must-have. And finally, let's talk about a plant that is an explosion of fiery, hot color and just refuses to quit, the blanket flower or gaillardia. This plant is a testament to endurance. It thrives in hot, sunny, and dry conditions where other plants would just give up. The flowers are incredible, often bicolored or tricolored in shades of red, orange, and yellow, looking like miniature sunsets. And the bloom time is just relentless. It starts in early summer and bloom its head off nonstop until the first hard frost. There is no mid-season lull with gaillardia. It is all gas, no brakes. It's another North American native, so it's perfectly adapted for tough conditions. It absolutely requires full sun and very well-drained soil. It will rot in heavy, wet clay. It's short-lived perennial, often lasting just a few years, but it self-seeds readily, ensuring you'll always have it around. The bees and butterflies love it. You want blasts of vibrant, hot color that you never have to worry about? Gaillardia is your plant. It's pure, unapologetic, summer-long joy.